And like, I don't even want to like say this. It's kind of like
Dude,
just
I
me
don't
being an
care.
asshole, but like, I was like, fuck, man. Like, Shelby's such a pussy. Like, what is wrong with this kid? Like, he's fucking like, he's got anxiety. Like, that's not even a real thing. Like, what? He can't fucking party anymore. Like,
Mhm.
and like, I was always like, I'm not just saying that was me. Like, a lot of our friends thought that.
Oh, 100%, man.
And like, I just never really understood like what was going on in your body. And that's like a really selfish thing too.
Mm-hmm.
But that was just my mindset. I was like, man, like there's no way this guy could feel this shitty for this long and like change his complete diet. Like that year that you did your full transformation and like tried to start all these new things, dude, I didn't see you for one fucking year.
Yeah, I know.
Like literally the whole year, I was like, this is the longest time I've never seen this guy for it. And then we would try to get you out like all the time. We're like, Shelby, come to the bar, come downtown. And like, we just never really fully understood. But like a lot lately, like since like I've learned a lot about myself and like I've learned that I've dealt with like some depression and anxiety lately, maybe my whole life. And like, I'm just starting to learn about it now because like I said, I would always just shy away from it and like be like, no, it's nothing, brush it off. Like this isn't real.
Yeah.
But, I don't even know where I was going with that with you and your depression and anxiety. Oh yeah. So like now I look back at it and like, I feel so bad and like, I totally understand, man. Like it happens. And like, it honestly, like, as weird as it is, like, dude, that was meant to happen to you in a way because, like,
oh yeah,
look at like your habits and stuff, and like drinking, eating, dude. We would be at your dad's house. You would be like coming home with like a 1 liter of chocolate milk, fucking desserts. Like you would eat like shit.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I never was like that. Like I always eat pretty good my whole life. Like my parents would never buy like sugary stuff. I never got like sugar cereal. I never got like fruit gushers. Like I was pissed when I was a kid because I was like, dude, everybody gets the best snacks.
Yeah,
I get fucking cucumbers and balsamic vinegar, like just like weird things.
Yeah.
But like I recall you at like for so long, you would literally like you needed a dessert every day. You would go to Dairy Queen, you get a Blizzard. You would go to Krauseberry, you'd get a freaking pie.
And a milkshake
every day, dude.
Wendell's.
Like whenever I saw you at your dad's house, you'd be working on cars, you'd be doing something, but you'd always be eating something shitty. So like you just add a bunch of that stuff up, and then it's obviously just a recipe for disaster, right? Like it could happen to anyone. Like, dude, like bad habits, like you like keep doing it. Just like recently, I was just up at camp, and I just found out my dad had a heart attack, and it's like, dude, my whole life, his habits are worse than like your habits used to be. Dude, that guy doesn't eat breakfast. Like he's a machine, dude. He works like 7 days a week. He doesn't eat breakfast. He'll take a banana to work. He'll work like a 12 to 15 hour shift daily because like he just loves work. And like he'll come home. His only meal of the day is dinner. He'll eat like a huge dinner and then just start crushing beers. Like every fucking day. Some days he'll forget to eat dinner and just crush beers.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And like me growing up and like seeing that, I thought that was like normal. I was like, oh, like that's not even a weird thing.
Yeah. I think that's actually like a really important thing that like, not necessarily a good important thing, but something that I felt the same way about where I really started drinking. Honestly, I think a lot of it was based around my family.
No, for sure.
Because I lived in Whistler for a few years after high school.
And your uncles work at like...
Yeah, I worked for my uncle's company. They had a fab shop, a steel fabrication shop. And I mean, we would always eat lunch for sure, but it was usually just kind of like, you know, we'd have a quick coffee or something in the morning. And I'd pretty much have a mocha and a cinnamon bun every morning for breakfast, which is fucking hectic. That's like healthy. So much sugar. And then for lunch, we'd usually go out and eat like a go out meal. And I liked this one place because it had all day breakfast. So I would just crush French toast and shit.
And that was in Pemby?
Yeah, in Pemby for lunch. And then, but after work, they had a beer machine at the shop.
A beer machine.
Yeah, man. Like literally,
you can literally buy beers.
Yeah, like a pop machine, but you buy beers, but they charged the exact same price as the beer. So you're just paying.
So they're just helping the boys out.
Yeah, man. It was just
like, yo, grab a beer.
It was just like a cool thing. So you would pay for your beer, but they would just restock it, so you didn't have to buy beer. So
would they stock it themselves, or someone would come in and stock it?
No, they would go.
They would just buy like a 2-4 or like.
When I was old enough, I did the beer runs when I was 19. So I would take the work truck to the liquor store and buy fucking $400 worth of beers or whatever and fill the whole thing up. And then, but it was funny because, you know, everyone would sit around. So after work, like you were pretty much a fucking loser if you didn't have a beer with everyone. And
Yeah.
like, they don't do it anymore. I mean, times are just different now, especially like this was kind of before like drinking and driving was a huge thing. I mean, like, obviously it's never been good, but like this was before they had all the crazy rules and all this shit. And, you know, even cops were like less strict, but either way, they would sit there and like everybody would have like at least a few beers, usually like 2 to 5, I would say. And then it would be funny because once you hit like 3 or 4, then my uncles would be like, oh, like people would literally they'd make IOUs. He's like, bro, I have no,
like I'll pay you back $10.
he's like, I have no more change today. So they'd write IOUs and put it in the machine.
Oh
and
my God.
So basically like
they would take it?
Well, no, like you could open up the thing that took the change and you could put IOU in
and
it.
Flop it in there. And so then when they take the change out, they see that.
Yeah, they would see it, and then they would take the key and just unlock the machine, so you could just open the door and take it out like a fridge. So every day it would like escalate to, not every day, but it would often escalate to like free range of the beer fridge, and then we would, you know, like that was just normal. Like 5 o'clock hit or 3 o'clock, you drink beers till like 5 or 6 with the guys, and then we'd go home and make dinner and drink a bunch more beers, hit the hot tub, have a couple beers. Like I would pretty much be drunk every night. And like I saw my uncles doing this and all these other guys. And at that point, like you're looking up to these people too. I'm like, man, like they have this cool company. And like one day I want to have my own business and whatever these things
were.
You
a spit an image of yourself.
Like
you're like, this is going to be me.
Yeah. But that's what everybody did. And like, you know, my dad drank on weeknights and like, not as much. He used to get mad at me about it, but I'm like, dude, you're still having a glass of wine. I'm just having 2 beers. What's the fucking difference? So it just is such a common thing that people do, like you're saying, where it's just like, I don't know, it just seems normal until it fucks you up. And even they're realizing now how, you know, holy shit, why am I drinking so much of this shit? And they're drinking a lot less too. So,
yeah,
but it's crazy. You just kind of grow up and it is so normal.